I don't know what to do with my hair. Oh, heaven for Betsy. I'm a mess. Look at me. This way? This way? It doesn't matter. I still look ridiculous. Make sure I got this lined up right. We good there? That's as good as it's gonna get there, baby. What a fucking week. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Oh, God, I gotta fix all this shit. God almighty. What have you been doing? I don't know. Go ahead and delete that just in case. Insert audio track. And we can start from the beginning. And be safe, maybe. I'm going to leave it like that. That's the only way. I'm just going to leave it like that. Fuck it. I put hairspray in it and won't do anything. It's too long. All right. Let's jump off this balcony. Gonna make the typing a little smaller, please. Honestly, can I? Here we go. Maybe. Who knows?
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
Well, I got some bad news. I always have bad news. The show is not called This is 50, Everything's Good News. No, this is called This is 50, Everything's Bad. Everything's bad. Everything is going down the tubes, especially my hair. Look at my hair if you're watching this on the YouTube video. I don't know what to do with my hair. I haven't got a cut. Hold on, let me take these off so you can get the full... I like to keep it tight and right. But anyways... My wife and I, I bought it. My wife and I said that we were going to color my hair and color this before the cruise. Well, that never happened. So now I'm dealing with, I might color this, which I'm referring to my beard, if you're not watching this on YouTube. Referring to my beard, my little goatee, my 90s grunge metal. Hey, man, what's going on? You guys like Nirvana? Oh, well. So this past... the reason why I'm not doing good, this past weekend, last weekend, outside of, me coming back from the cruise and stuff, and this kind of touches on that a little bit, but I got a couple things I want to talk about the cruise that I forgot last week. But this weekend was Father's Day. Great. No problem. My wife and I have been battling the ick, whatever we got from the cruise liner, coughing, just not being 100%. No fever. Took our temperature. No fever at all. Just got that ick in our throat and, coughing up what I call lung mustard. I know a lot of people, but it describes it perfectly. Actually, I think I like my hair this way. I'm going to get it, see if I can get it permanently done. And I'm looking at it. I look good. But I took my dad out for Father's Day. Now, I'm not a father. But, we do have animals in the house, or animals on the property. And my wife, for Mother's Day, she's not a mother, of course. We just have each other. We don't have many kids between us. We just have the animals. So Mother's Day, I kind of do the whole Mother's Day thing for her. Just kind of, here's a card from all the animals. Happy Mother's Day. You're the best one ever. This Father's Day, I didn't get shit. I didn't get nothing. Now, granted, she was sick, but it's just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess everything I do around here is not really relevant. I take care of the horses and stuff while you're at work, and I know it's part of my job description being here on the property, and I'm able to have a job to where I can be at home all the time. But it's just that one little extra step as far as appreciation. I didn't get it this Father's Day, but I said, you know what? I even told my wife, I said, it's one of those, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. When women do that, I told my wife, she's like, oh, I didn't do anything for you for Father's Day. I said, yeah, I just kind of, it's okay, babe. We got other stuff going on. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I just like a little bit of a participation award. That's all I want. Just something simple saying, Yes, honey, I agree that you do this stuff. Now back to work with yourself. So I took my dad out for Father's Day, and he was perplexed. You know, he's 78 years old now. And I go, well, I said, we're going to lunch on Saturday. Huh? Dad, we are going to lunch on Saturday. Why? Because it's Father's Day. Father's Day, Sunday. Dad, I'm not battling crowds for you, bud. Sorry. You know, you didn't show up to my Little League baseball games. I'm not battling crowds for you. So you will go and you will eat where I say you will go and eat at what time. Okay. So we went to a place called the Smoke Pit. It's I don't know if it's a chain or not, but they have smoked barbecue food, whatever. My dad gets it, and he gets a brisket, like sliced brisket, and I just wanted chicken, smoked chicken. I love smoked chicken. I'll eat that all day long. So I order it, and I'm getting there, and the first thing is a good smoked chicken, by the way, if you're writing this down, if you're taking notes at home, a good smoked chicken should have a nice, crispy skin, because that means you've got that fat down on the outside of and that fat is rendered into the meat, and the meat should be nice and tender and juicy and should technically come off the bone. Well, we went to this place called the Smoke Pit in our local area here, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm going to throw them under the bus. The chicken was not... It's like they baked it and put smoked seasoning on it. It was garbage. And this is like the third time I've been there. And every time, I don't know, why do I torture myself? And as I'm eating it, I'm like, God, this stuff just doesn't taste right. It's not, something's wrong. I don't know what it is. So I eat one, they give you 2 leg quarters, and I eat one, and sitting there drinking beer. My dad's eating. He's finishing his plate. And the more and more I go out to lunch with my dad, if it's bad or good, he will make sure he comes from that mindset where he has to finish everything on the plate. Whether he will sit there and take a deep breath and then go back and finish the plate. He will not bring leftovers home. I don't know what it is. It's just that generation where he doesn't believe in leftovers. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Anyways. So I bring the food home, and my wife's home. She wasn't feeling well, so she's laid up on the couch watching her smut shows and stuff. She's like, how was it? I go, it was fine. My dad had a good time. I don't care. So then the next day, that's Saturday. So the next day we make something, and I'm like trying to eat it, and I noticed that my tongue... I put something on my tongue. Let's say like if I eat a pickle, you know what a pickle tastes like. Kosher dill, all the way, Mount Olive. Take a bite of it. Is there any salt in these pickles? And then my wife made this huge meal, nice. I forget what it was, some kind of sheet pan fajitas. And I took a bite and I'm like, oh, it needs more salt. And she's like, really? It needs more salt? And I go, no. And then the next night she makes something else. And it's a chipotle, our own homemade chipotle dressing. And I taste it, and she's like, is it hot enough? I go, I guess. I don't know. And 1 and 2 and 3 are being put together in my mind. And I'm like sitting there going, I think I have COVID again, but I don't have a fever. I have this, and lung mustard comes up. And, if you listen to the other shows that I do, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I will hack my lungs out all the way till 5 o'clock in the morning. Finally, my body will give up and shut down and finally get some sleep for another 2 hours or so before I have to get up and feed all my children, all my animals. But even now, like on my tongue, the one side of my tongue, like the outside of your tongue, if you were in... what class was it? In what grade? Where they taught what areas of your tongue taste something. Like the back is sour, the front is sweet, the sides are salty, the middle is, I don't know, haktu or something. I don't know. But it's like I don't know. It's a numbing feeling, or it's not like there's no taste there. Like when I drink these guys. Thank you, proud sponsors of the show. I taste the bitterness on the back. That's the other one, bitterness. I taste the bitterness on the back of my throat, a little bit of sweet on the side, and then that's it. And I think, isn't that part of COVID where you lose your taste? But I don't have a temperature. I don't have a fever. I don't have anything like that. My body doesn't ache, just a cough and no sense of taste. Now, I haven't told my wife this. I haven't told anyone this. And I have not taken a test, only because I don't have a fever. That's the only reason why I haven't done anything. Well, you're not doing your friends and your dad and everyone that's in your studio justice. Yeah, you're only contagious is if you have a fever. That means you're infectious. Your body's trying to get that infectious disease, whatever it is, off of you, out of you. And maybe when I was doing the whole antibiotics. Oh, here's an update on my hand, by the way. If you want, see if I can get it to focus in. You can see the skin's coming off. But when I was doing the whole penicillin drip, maybe it kind of stopped it in its tracks type deal. I don't know, because I never really got like tired. I'm beat. I just can't open my eyes, like type deal. So anyways, I have a hard time tasting right now. It's slowly coming back. But this is now what? 2 weeks now? Because we got back. I don't know. I lost all track of time. So, yeah. COVID, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens this weekend. And, of course, I will keep you up to date. And the way you can stay up to date with us is to go over to Facebook and search for This Is 50 over on Facebook, and you'll see a whole bunch of photos and stuff and videos and whatnot that deal with the show and all the things that I make fun of, and you can find those over there as well. Make sure you like us over there because we like you. All right, when we come back, I'm going to get a little bit into a conversation I had with a bartender out at in Vancouver, and she was totally amazed. I don't know what accent that is, but she was just like, "Can you believe this? I did not know." All right, so let's see if I can improve that accent before I get back. We'll take a little break. So stick around. I'll be right back. So my wife works before COVID. Well, actually, before COVID and during COVID and then after COVID, she worked 5 days a week out of the house. She has a job that grants her an opportunity to work from an office here at home. We've got all these security measures set up. And when I say security measures, internet, there's a lot of sensitive information that she deals with her job. Let me switch over to this. With her job, that we need to make sure that the security lines, the internet lines are completely secure. She's got a key fob that changes every 30 seconds. If she signs off, she has to sign back on the key fob. It's a whole like government type thing. Now, it's not a government job, but for the most part, it is somewhat, people's financial records and all that, although there is government documents that she's in charge of. So they've changed it now where it's a hybrid schedule, and she works 2 days at home, and she can pick whatever 2 days. She picks Monday and Friday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, she works from the actual headquarters, the brick and mortar building. So when she does those nights, she doesn't get home till like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, because it's an hour drive into the major in the Charlotte area, and then an hour back home. So when she says, I'm wrapping it up at 7 o'clock, I go, okay, well, she's wrapping it up. She'll be out of there at 8, get to her car at 8:20. She won't be home till 9:45. Meanwhile, I've, done everything I need to do for the day. I've eaten, and I'm sitting back and watching TV. Now, I'll watch something that's simple because I know as soon as she comes in, I'm halfway when I close, trying to stay awake. So I try not to get into anything too serious. I was watching something. I have to go back and look at the, last watched or recently watched or continue watching type thing, because I know I shut it off in the middle on Netflix. And it had this panel of people, and the people had some notoriety as far as who they were. I'm Kim, and I'm a TikToker, and I'm, George, and I'm a YouTuber. This one guy, he was 70 years old, and they said the lead singer of a famous New York City punk rock band. I think it was New York City, but a famous punk rock band. Now, growing up, growing up in the 70s and early 80s and stuff. I was I'm 51, so you can do the age and math there. I was introduced to punk rock music around 1986, 85. Parents, turn that shit off. But it was so they didn't play it on the radio, and it spoke to me. It was just this raw, aggressive type music. And then, you get into high school and you meet friends that are the same angst. You're 15, 16 years old. Yeah, I like that band. I like Circle Jerks. I like, TSOL and all these other different 7 Seconds and Sex Pistols, of course, is always on the staple. Dead Kennedys are always on the staple. Susie and the Banshees and so on and so forth. There was one band out there. Oh, Crumb Suckers. I love Crumb Suckers as well. Easy. I said Crumb Suckers. They're really, really GBH, all those other bands. There was one band out there that the only reason why I like their music is because punk rock, I couldn't go into a store and buy a whole lot of punk rock albums. So you had cassette tapes that people would like make a copy type deal. And I had a cassette tape of a band called Fear. Fear. And there was something about his voice. It was different than the other voices on punk rock music that I was listening to. Now, granted, I wasn't a big fan of Fear. I just liked they had a couple songs. And he actually would sing. He would do, instead of just, screaming and yelling, he would carry out notes. And, and that was never heard when you're 16, 17 years old and you're listening to punk rock music. You never heard that long extension of a note in punk rock music. And not that he was like Celine Dion out there, but he just had a very different sound to himself. And on this panel of whatever show I was watching, I don't know, it was late at night. I forgot the name of it, like I said. He was on it, 70 years old. So if I was 15, he was 35. He was 35 doing punk rock music. That's our age difference right now. So, 19 years apart. Still, now he's got white hair, like a flat top. He looked like a Jacoby from... what's the band? Papa Roach. But like 120 pounds. Little skinny guy, black leather, black shirt, black pants, and still had that, that angst that if you're watching this on the video here, that fist up in the air, that angst. He's like, yeah! I was like going, hold on. I can't do that too much. Sounded exactly the same. Same energy, same everything. And it was awesome. And I sat there and I'm crossing my arms. I'm watching. I'm enjoying this. And I'm like going, God damn, look at this guy. He probably has no idea. Well, I say probably. He does not have any idea who I am. And he's probably thinking that half the people, if not maybe 90% of the people watching this show, has no idea who he is. Except for me. I was kind of like, hey, I know that guy. That guy looks... He looks the same. He's, lost probably, 50, 80 pounds, getting older and stuff. And he probably walks on the beach, I'm punk, but I walk on the beach. I got to stay alive. And it was amazing to sit there and watch and see him, not one of my idols, but one of the idol music genre that he's still around and stuff. Because you think about punk rock music, a lot of those people are dead. Dead, drug addicted, gone. I mean, all the Ramones are dead. All the Sex Pistols are pretty much dead, except for Johnny Rotten. Imagine that health nut. He's still around? Is he? He might have died too. Probably no. I don't know. If he is alive, more power to him. If he's dead, carpe diem. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. But anyways, I just thought that was neat to see this, guy from a punk rock band that I was introduced to at 16 years old from a copy of a tape that I used to, play when I used to skateboard out front. He's on this show. So I just thought that was kind of like, I don't know if it was a signal from, Mahatma Allah, whatever you want to call him. I was just kind of like, oh, there he is. Yeah, I know that guy. You know that guy? Yeah, no, I don't know him, but that's the guy from Fear. From who? Fear. More beer, do. Anyways, I'll probably play that song during the break, and you can get an idea of what he sounded like. But when I was in Vancouver, one of the situations we got into after my wife, I told you she had a nervous breakdown. At this bar, she had this nervous breakdown. Lady behind the counter was Scottish. And I'm trying to just I can't talk to my wife. She's having a nervous breakdown. I'm like, okay, babe, I'm not going to ask anything. How you doing? Are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you? Because she's like, just I got to work through it. So I go, turn my attention this way. And I go talking to the bartender, big old Scottish girl. You know, I don't know how to do a Scottish accent, but there you go. You can just insert random accents there. She's like, do you know there's it's going to sound British, I know, so bear with me. There's a show called Letterkenny. Uh-huh. And it's about Canada. I'm like, yeah? I've never heard of this. And I'm like going, this is like from 2015. You've never heard of a show that's based on and around your community, your country? No. I said, have you watched it? Yeah, I watched a couple of it. Did you like it? Oh, football, and you know, football, and her accent got so thick. I was like, I don't know what you're saying. But it's funny that here I am. I've seen Letterkenny. If you haven't seen Letterkenny before, it's genius. It's brilliant work. The first 5-6 seasons are good, and then they start getting really, really. You can tell there's like sponsorships, and they want to shoot a different way. It's not that raw footage. It's not that raw punk rock type atmosphere. The first couple seasons, Jared Leto, I forget the guy's name. Anyways, the guy who plays the main Letterkenny guy and the gay preacher guy are the ones who wrote it. And it's raw. It's, you know, 2 camera angles, one scenario or one scene shots and stuff like that. Now they got 15 different angles. They got slow motion. They got all this stuff. Anyway, so I just thought it was funny that this woman who lived in Canada all her life and working in a bar in that type underground scene that nobody since 2015 has said anything about Letterkenny. Let's find out, actually, before I start, you know, stroking everyone's. When did Letterkenny start? When did Letterkenny start? 2016. So I came across it in probably 2019, probably around the time where, let's go back to me now. Probably around the time the COVID came out and people were talking about, you know, looking for shows to watch and stuff. So Letterkenny came out in 2016. It was raw. It was punk. If you haven't seen it, it's really, really interesting. It's really, really good. I like shows that teach me about culture in other areas. For example, I'm a big fan of like The Young Ones, and The Young Ones only had, I think, 11, 12 episodes. And it's based about these 4 college kids during the Margaret Thatcher era. And it's so hilarious. It's so hilarious. I like shows that kind of teach me about timestamps in, you know, whether it be their culture and how the U.S. and how they look at the U.S. and all that stuff. It's kind of like listening to punk rock music from overseas and how they view us and how we view them. Letterkenny's kind of the same way. No one really had a big show coming out of Canada except for what was the one where Drake was in it, where he was like in a wheelchair or something. I forget. That didn't teach me anything about Canada, but the Letterkenny show opened my eyes to a bigger thing. You know, it's not just Canada. It opened up my eyes that they're just like us. They're just a little different. They have a little different approach on things. And so this bartender was like going, yeah, I just started watching it. And I'm like going, oh yeah, it's good. It's really good. Like I said, the later seasons get a little off track and they lose kind of their focus, their whole mission statement. But yeah, it's good. If you want to watch it, it's fun to watch. Oh, I know. I don't have too many friends, family friends on my Facebook page, and there's a reason why. One is this show, because I talk a lot of shit about a lot of people, and I don't want to offend anyone, especially my family, because my family is a lot that I have to deal with during the show, so I don't want them to be, oh, what did you mean by that? But I had a cousin of mine dad I haven't seen since, I don't know, Christ. I was in high school. High school is the last time I saw him. Heard about him, heard his name, anything like that. And he reached out to me on Facebook. And when you're in this type of situation, why even bother other than, oh, we're family? And I'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. I'm not too happy about it, but here we go. I'll be right back. So my grandmother, my dad's dad, my mom's parents passed away before I was born, so I never knew them. I always saw pictures of them, never knew them. My dad's parents, both of them, were around for many years, up until I was in my mid-20s. And unfortunately, they passed away. But before they passed away, they took up shop. They moved from Fayetteville, North Carolina, before I was born, when my dad was a kid, to Orlando, Florida. And then from Orlando, Florida, moved out to the coast, out to Titusville. Both of them retired. They used to fish, take the boat out, they were fishermen. They'd do fishing for the day and then come back and sell it to the market for them, they'd sell the fish to the market and the fish market would sell it from there. I mean, that was their supplier. That's the way things worked. That's the reason why growing up, my dad, he was the fisherman with them. They didn't have sunblock and stuff. That's why my dad's got a hole in the top of his head. That's why he doesn't have a nose, because skin cancer has eaten him up. He never had sunblock on. It was those times, that time in our society where sunblock wasn't around. So my dad's paying for the price now. So my dad's sister, my aunt, decided to live with grandma, her mom, out there in Titusville, to keep an eye on her, to help, grandma and grandpa and make sure that they're okay. And she lived, 2 or 3 blocks down from them. And she was a ER nurse, some kind of nurse at a hospital. She was up there. And she married a gentleman who worked for NASA. And when I say work for NASA, let me define work for NASA. You've got, Edward T. Chisenbone, who's sitting there programming all the computers and stuff. And then you got Tom Hairless over here that's pushing a broom underneath the assembly building, sweeping up dust. Both those people technically work for NASA. All right, got it? My uncle, who was married to my dad's sister, worked for NASA, and his main job, the only thing I knew that his job title was, he used to put on the tiles underneath the shuttle. The what do they call them? The reflector tiles, the heat tiles. He would have to do that. He would have to, when the shuttle would come back from wherever, it would land in Dallas and then, or I forget, somewhere in Texas, it would land. They'd fly it over here. He'd go through every single tile underneath at the time, Columbia and Challenger. When that came around, he would have to go through and make sure and test every tile to make sure that the flame retardant stuff is still good on it. Now, granted, he would go inside the cockpit. He would have to, move some wires and stuff around, because a lot of the times there's sensors on these tiles, but that was his job. That's the only thing I know. He could have done something else. He could have done 15 other things. I just know that he was in charge of replacing the tiles on the bottom of the lunar lander, or the lunar shuttle, whatever they call it now. So I tell you that to fast forward to this right now. So when my mom passed away, I have not seen these people since high school days. I have not seen any of these people. Facebook wasn't around yet. I didn't sign on to Facebook till 2009. They probably did not do anything until 2020, maybe. They start getting on Facebook. Facebook, this is new. Letterkenny, this is new. That type of deal. And so I would start getting friend requests from family members. My cousins who used to smoke crack, go into Walmart, steal stuff, and run out of the store laughing. And then show up at family events and go, yeah, that cop couldn't catch me. I go, all right, that's kind of cool. You're going far. You're going places. And even not necessarily my crack smoking cousins, my upper CEOs and VPs and CIOs and stuff of like Darden restaurants and all this other stuff. My cousins that do, hey, I want to be your friend on Facebook. I'm like, nope. I will refuse every one of them. Refuse. Even my dad, believe it or not, my dad is not on my Facebook friends list. Nope. So after my mom died, we had a big get together here of my dad, his brother, and his sister, and everyone brought their significant other, husband and wife. And we all kind of sat around, well, how are the kids doing now? How are your crack smoking kids doing? Yeah, well, they're still smoking crack. All right. And how's your kids doing? Oh, is the one girl married? No, she's not married yet. And I'm like going, lesbian. And then what about the other one? The other one that's, we don't talk to him as much. And that conversation just stopped. And I go, all right, something happened there. Come to find out, I guess my dad's sister and her son, my cousin, had a big falling out somehow. I don't know what happened. I don't care. I honestly do not give a shit. The reason why I say that is because he is in no condition to advance my life in any way, and there's no way I can advance his life in any way. So I'm sorry, but that's the way I kind of look at people. If you do not add anything to my enjoyment of me being me right now. My wife said to me on the cruise, how come, we said something about meeting people and having friends and stuff like that. And she's like, kind of like snarky, had a couple drinks and goes, well, it's your choice that you don't have any friends. I said, you know what, babe? I said, it's not me. I lose interest in people so quickly. I do. I honestly lose interest in people. I don't want to give them a chance. They have, we can talk all day long, but I lose interest in people. I get bored with them. I really, really get bored with people. And that's the only way. And she kind of goes, well, I understand that because you are the way you are and your personality and everything. I said, I just lose interest and I get bored with people. That's why I don't have a whole lot of friends. I need people that challenge me and all that stuff, but they're family. People in the audience, oh, they're family. What about your cousins and their family? Guess what? They're not. I'm not getting wrapped up into that. That's how come you end up on the news. I just came over here to help my cousin's sister's baby dad come out and blah 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 blah. And family's stronger than fuck that. No, that's your path. This is my path. So the NASA dad and his wife, which is my dad's sister, have not talked to their son. And all I know is that he's in bad situation. So I'm thinking, drugs or whatever like that. Now, he was one of the first cousins to get married out of all of us at the same time. So you look at my dad, my dad's brother, and my dad's sister. Everyone had kids. We were all about the same age. He was the youngest one out of all of us, and he was the first one to get married. He got married at like 19. Mistake. Anyways, now he's going through this whole, he's got like a spinal infection. He's got back problems and hip problems and bones and stuff aren't lining up right. And he's younger than I am. He's probably 40, maybe just turning 40. And, I talked to his parents, my family members. I'm like, well, so what's going on? Well, he's going through a lot. He's surgery this and surgery that. And as I'm talking to him, my uncle, who was the NASA guy, he can't move. He walks around with a walker. He's got pain. It's kind of like when black people get sickle cell anemia, their body just aches all the time. If you're watching me on the video, I'm like, he's got just this constant ache and this constant body fatigue. And I'm like going, is that part of NASA? Is that, maybe there's something there? I'm like, there's a statute of limitation on, can you file a claim or something or do some research? Well, you can't. No, you can't. It's ironclad. Their contracts and everything. You can't come back to us and say that. And who knows? Those tiles were probably full of fucking asbestos. We didn't find out about asbestos until the late 70s. Oh, no. You can have it. Just don't disturb it. So he's got a problem. The son's got a problem. He's gone all over the place. So anyways, the reason why I say that is because he just friended me on Facebook. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll let you come through. You can come through the golden gates of Travis's Facebook page. Accept friend requests. Next day, post. I'm in the ICU, blah, 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 blah. Next day post. Here's an update. I'm in the ICU. Doctor's on the next post. Doctors can't figure it out. I'm still stuck here. And I'm thinking to myself, why did I let this guy on my shit? Why? I don't want to sit here and read ICU posts every day. And I want to enjoy myself. I want to see positive stuff. I want to see stupid stuff. I want to see, TikTok people doing TikTok things. I don't want to hear about, you're 40 years old and woe was me and help pray for me and likes and shares and hugs and prayers and all that stuff. No. So I'm almost at the point. If I see one more, I'm sorry. If I see one more, I'm going to have to block them. I am. I'm going to block them. I'm going to block them. And I still get, friend requests from my aunts and uncles and stuff. How come you keep refusing my... Because I don't want you to know what's going on in my life. This is not part of your life. This has nothing to do with your life. Enjoy your life. If you want to find out what's going on in the family, here we go. Here's a prime thing for you. All right, everyone, listen up. You want to know what goes on in my life? Fuck the Facebook link. Call me. Call me. If you care that much to find out what's going on in my life, fucking call me. Text me. Something like that. Out of social media. I don't need to drag my stuff through the thing. I had 2 bulldogs that passed away. Didn't post a single goddamn thing on Facebook. You know why? Because I didn't want everyone to feel sorry for me and the pity is this is my world. This is what I wanted to keep away from you guys. I was going through a hard time with the passing of my 2 bulldogs. I didn't want to drag you guys through it because I didn't want that fake sympathy. Same reason why I don't want you to be my family members to be part of my Facebook feed. I don't want to talk to, I don't want fake. I don't know what I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. I'm happier this way. The people that knew me and or knew about us and the dogs and everything, they reached out to, like, physically called and physically text. Hey man, I heard about your dog. Damn, it sucks and stuff. Yeah, I know it sucks. And then I continue about now, am I wrong for doing that? And if I am, go over to This Is 50 on Facebook and let me know how shitty of a person I am. Because I am. I know I am. But not when it comes to stuff breaking down here at the house. And I got a bill for something that broke here on the house. And I'm not too happy about it. And I'll discuss that and I want your opinions as well. So stick around. I'll be right back. It's funny when I do all the editing, I can see where I've come back because there's this audio spike that goes and then goes and that's me coming back going so I know exactly. I'll cut that out and edit this and a little behind the scenes stuff is what goes on here. More like double behind the scenes stuff outside of the stuff I'm telling you. There it is right there. See it? So when my dad moved in, there was a lot of changes and stuff and getting used to type stuff. I've told you that he leaves lights on no matter what room he walks into. He'll turn the light on, then go into another room and turn that light on, get whatever he has to do and walk back through those 2 rooms and leave those lights on. So as soon as he started doing that, I put one of those motion detector things on the switch. It's got a little thing. So when you walk in the room, the light turns on. Hey, look, you don't have to do anything. And then when you leave, it'll turn back off. A lot of office buildings do that to save money on power bills and whatnot. But the lights we can't do that with, like in the kitchen, like all the lights, the recessed lighting in the kitchens and stuff. I bought smart light bulbs where you can control them with your phone. WIX is what I have. They're the same light bulbs that I have here in the studio. I can switch, change the colors of everything and set the mood different here in the studio. The ones that I have in the house they won't do the colors, but they'll do like daylight, a night light type look, a soft white, the basic spectrum of, what is it, 3,500 to, I think, 6,500 Loomis. They won't do blues or blacks or purples or anything like that. I have all those up here. So if I look at the app and I see lights that are on in the house, and I'm like going, man, I don't think my dad's in that room, and I'll just have to go through physically and click them off because we're trying to lower our power bill. Jesus Christ, it's expensive living out here when you don't do anything. One of the things that my dad does, I don't know where this is, he forgets to turn water off. And I don't want to say I'm to blame for most of that because the kitchen faucet that we have, it's got the center one that comes right out of the center. If you're watching me on the YouTube video, this is not a good sign to be doing here, but you get the idea. One arm comes out and it's got the little handle on the side. So you can take the handle and, you pull it out, turns it on, you shift it to cold or you push it to the back to hot, so on and so forth. But if you don't put it straight back up and down, it'll run. It'll trickle a little bit. You didn't shut the valve off all the way. So there has been, last 2 years, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times where I've come out there and it's just trickling. Trickle, trickle, trickle. And you're like, oh, well, what's the big deal about that? Okay, your water bill goes up. No, I don't have a water bill. I'm on a well. And a well has to have a well pump. And the well pump has to turn on and off to fill up the pressure tank. So you got a well pump that's, 300 and some odd feet down in the ground, and this long 1.5 inch pipe that goes up to a pressure tank that gives you your pressure. Now, if you don't know what the pressure tank is, when you're driving around your local municipality and stuff, and you see those water towers, how do you think the water comes out of your tap? It's by gravity. They pump the water up in there, and that's your water pressure that comes into those communities. So it's a water tower. A pressure tank is a smaller scale of what we have here on the property. If you write notes or anything like that, pay attention. So we have a pressure tank. So when the pressure tank gets below 40 PSIs, pump turns on and fills it back up to its 60 PSIs. So it's a 46. If it does that all day long, it can't catch up. Chances are it'll burn out the motor, the pump down below. And the pump is this long, almost looks like if you ever seen like the artillery people that put, the shells and then boom, and they fired out the big cannon and stuff. It's about that big. It looks like a long, and I'm holding it up here. I'm not holding it up. I'm just giving you an idea. It's big. It's a long, probably 2.5 feet long, heavy, probably, 50, 60 pounds pump, all contained to go down in this little thing here. So I tell my dad, if you got to turn this water off. You got to make sure this water turns off. You're going to burn my pump out. It's going to turn on and off and on and off all day long. So sure enough, after 2 years of him being here and leaving the water on, and he's been better in the last couple months, but still we catch him. I don't know what he does when he comes out in the middle of the night. Does that water stay on? And then he's the first one up, so he can go, oh shit, I left the water on all night, and, cut it off, and there you go. But sure enough, my dad comes out of his room yesterday. There's no water pressure. So, all right, me being the brainiac that I am, the smartest guy in the house. All right, check the breakers. Check the breakers. I got power. Everything's good. That's the first thing. Second thing, see if there's any leaks anywhere. Do we have anything water running where we drain the pressure tank running around? Nope. Go down to the barn because the pump does feed the barn itself. Babe, is there any water or anything running down there? She comes back. Nope. Everything's good. Everything's off. So I go out there with my little light pen that says if I've got power going to certain things, touching the cables, touching all the lines. And I'm like going, it looks like the pressure switch has gone out. So call the people. Now she called the people and they came out, and this is like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, like cutting time for everyone, quitting time type deal. And the guy comes out, and he's the same guy who did the whole, the water softener thing. And I'm like, hey man, what's going on? He's like, hey, I'm like, where's your partner? Oh, he's gone already. We already cut him at the last job. I said, okay, how can I help? So he gets in there and he tests, he's got his own meter and he's doing all the meter stuff. And he's like, well, we're going to have to pull the pump out. I said, okay. So a well pump has about maybe a 6-inch pipe. I need to get a better camera angle here. Has a 6-inch pipe that goes all the way down as far as, whatever the pump drill is. And there's a cap on it. And on that cap has a, where the 1.5 inch, it's not polybutylene. That black pipe is connected to a faucet. And then it goes off and runs all over the place. So he pries the top of that off. He goes, well, you got plenty of water in there because, normally you would see it. If it was a dry well, you wouldn't see any water in here. He goes, I can look down about 2 feet down and I can see water. I'm like, all right, cool. We got water. I said, what do we have to do now? He goes, well, we have to pull all this pipe out. I said, okay. So he grabs it and he walks. He's got the little pipe rolly thing. He's walking this pipe. He walks about 100 feet, drops it, comes back. And I'm like, and I'm helping him feed. I'm helping him, he's not just doing this. I got to pull this out of a pump house. And I'm helping him. I'm covered in dirt and we're pulling it like we're running a fire hose to a 3-alarm fire. He's pulling it out. 300 feet of hose. I'm helping this guy pull it out. We get it out. He looks, yes, there's a broken power line here. So he fixes that, checks the pump. Pump's boiling hot, he says. This pump is burned out. And I said, is it burned out or just needs to be? He goes, no. He goes, watch. And he puts his ohm meter on. He says, it's only 8 ohms. It should have 24 ohms. That means full power. This thing's barely alive. I said, okay. I said, do you have another pump? He goes, yeah, I got another one in the truck here. I said, okay, what can I help you with? He's like, well, can you grab me one of these and grab me one of these? I'm like, it's a shame you cut your guy early because he could help you, right? And he goes, yeah, it's okay. I can do this by myself, but I appreciate your help. Cool. So we go and we're talking and he's fixing stuff and he's running this and testing this. He was probably there once we got the pipe out of the ground, maybe another 35 minutes. Took us maybe 40 minutes to pull the pipe out. So he's been there an hour and 15 minutes. Puts a new pump on. Drop this thing back down inside. And we're feeding the pipe and the tube and all that stuff down. He checks everything. Everything's fine. Feeding this back down another 20, 25 minutes. Feeding this 300-foot long pipe down back in the thing. Clips the thing. And I said, so am I going to lose any pressure or anything? He goes, well, let's switch out the pressure switch. And he switches out the pressure switch. Bing, bang, boom. It takes like 15 minutes. And I said, are we good to go? And he goes, yeah, just check all the pressure inside the house. So I went through the whole entire house, turned on all the faucets, flushed all the toilets, made sure I had water everywhere. I said, yeah, we're good, man. He goes, all right, cool. See you later. That type of deal. He was probably there for maybe 2 hours, just over 2 hours. And my wife comes out and she goes, well, how much is this going to cost me? And he's like, I said, babe, I had to do a lot of help. So hopefully, and I'm looking at him, I'm going to get the the homeowner discount that I helped him. And he goes, well, I'll put it into the office and let's see. So I get the bill. This happened, what's today? I don't even know who you are anymore. This happened Wednesday. Today's Friday. I get the bill this morning. For me to help this guy and be his little errand boy for the most part, hey, do you have one of these? Yeah, I got one of these. I'll go get it for you. All right, I'll work on this while you grab that. And we're working together like I'm on his shift. The whole entire bill was $2,175. I looked at it and I go, because it comes to my email address. I said, holy shit. So then they do the line breakdown. Pressure switch, $40. Tape and repair, $20. Service call, $190. For 2 hours, $280 or whatever the 190 times 2. All right, figure that one out. And then it says $1,735 or $1,735 to pull and replace a pump. I'm thinking, hold on a minute. I helped this fucker. I gave him bottles of water. I gave him a dozen of our chicken eggs. We had conversations. I was working up here in the studio. I was covered in fucking mud and dirt helping this guy yank this hose out of my pump. I'm helping him to help him because he's like, this is the last thing I wanted to do today. I'm like, hey man, I'm here to help. I know it's the last thing I want to do too. I'm right here with you. Let's help. I'm going to help you. Pulling this thing out. At the end of the day, he shook my hand. He's like, I appreciate your help, man. I can go home at a decent hour. I can, get washed up and cleaned up and have dinner with my wife who's pregnant and we're getting, all the blah, 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 blah. And then I get the bill for $2,100, over $2,100. And I'm thinking, come on, man, come on. And then I look, because I've had businesses before, and I look, it's all through QuickBooks. So essentially what they do is they go, okay, you pulled a pump and everything. We normally charge X amount of dollars for that. So let's click one into the cart or whatever. Invoice that. One of these, invoice that. They don't even like consideration. So I am going to make a phone call. Probably this Monday because it's Friday. Everyone's gone now. I'm going to call this Monday and say, hey, man, or hey, service lady, whoever does the billing and stuff, can I speak to billing or the owner? Because it's family owned out here, out here in the middle of nowhere. Can we do something about me helping your guy after he cut his crew and, yada, 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 and all this stuff. So I don't want to pay $2,100, especially $1,700 of that. I was helping the guy pull the pump out of the thing. And when you're like going, well, you're just pulling a pipe out. No. You're talking about an 1.5 inch pipe. Every single bit of it's full of water. So for every 1 gallon of water weighs 10 pounds. So you figure out how many gallons of water is in 100 foot of pipe. You do the math on that. That's how much this pipe weighed. That's why I'm like throwing it over my shoulder like I'm running to the friggin' Twin Towers trying to put out fires and stuff. And dropping it, and he'd grab another section, and he'd run and drop it, and repeat, rinse, repeat. We're trying to get this thing out of the ground to get to the actual water pump, and then find out that it's burnt out. And he does the little ohms and stuff, and he's sitting on the ground. I'm like, can I get you a bottle of water? You look, a little, yeah, man, I'll take a bottle of water, and I'm helping him out, and he's helping me out, and trying to get the good Samaritan discount. And I didn't get shit. I didn't see shit on there, so I'm gonna have to go and take that up with them this Monday, and I'll let you know what happens next week. Another thing, get off my lawn. Another thing that I am pissed off about. There you go. COVID. Not pissed off about, but my dad just doesn't understand the complex. How do I say it? The complex things that we have going on here at the house. He just doesn't get it. He sits in his room all day long, watches TV, and doesn't really come out. He doesn't really function, doesn't activate himself with the family as much. He's just old. He's like, I'm not seeing out. I'm just old. I don't want to do anything. All right, fine, Dad. Sit in your room and rot and whatever. But we have nurses that come to our house because of my dad. It's covered under insurance and stuff. And I asked him one question, and the answer I got was I wasn't too happy about. So I'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. I really am digging my hair this way. Let me take the headphones off one more time. I don't know. Should I go to the left or? I mean, I can pull it straight down. Oh, I look horrible. No, I don't like that look. Guess over to the side looks good. Let's try the other side. Oh. I'll do it like this for the rest of the show. It doesn't look too bad. I want it to go this way. There we go. Forgot him. Mirror angle here. Yeah, there we go. I look like the Frisch's big boy. I look like a good friend of mine I worked with in doing a show or a radio show, FM radio show back in the day. Said I had my hair like this at one time. He goes, you look like Johnny Bravo. Thank you very much, baby. Thank you very much. Johnny Bravo. Oh, mama. So there you go. A little flash from the past. I told you my dad has skin cancer, melanoma, he gets pieces of his arm, lasered off or scraped off or cut out, or if it's really bad and stuff. Now he's got a hole on the top of his head. I posted it over on the This Is 50 Facebook page. So if you want to see it, you have to be careful because I think there's a little warning like graphic imaging or something like that. You can see the actual hole. You can see a skull over there. So make sure check us out over there. Make sure you like us over there because we post a bunch of different things that have to deal with the show and all the things that we talk about here. I'll post all that up. So you're like going, oh, I can put 2 and 2 together and match up. He did get covered in mud, pulling out that hose, pulling out them hose. So before we went on our cruise for 2 weeks, probably like 4 or 5 days before we left, and my dad had his surgery done, and I had to change the bandage a couple times because he has to have a gel in the hole. He has to have a Vaseline mixture of like Neosporin and something to keep his head moist, to keep infection from getting in there. Then there's a plastic, rubber, sticky Band-Aid that goes on his head. It's complete, no padding or anything on it, just complete one big 4x4 square of a stickiness that goes on his head. And then I got to put 2 4x4 pieces of gauze in and tape it around it to keep it on his head, just for like leakage and drainage and stuff. So before we went on our trip to Vancouver, we had a visiting nurse, and she was the one that was going to take all his information down and get everything set up for a nurse to come by and change his bandage because it has to be changed every day. So that nurse comes by and she's very, very, very official. She does everything. She's like, all right, we'll have this person come out this day and this person come out this day until you get back from your trip. I'm like, all right. So the good thing is someone will be in the house with my dad. Make sure he's not laying dead on the kitchen floor with the water running and the lights on. And, just checking on him type deal. So when we come back, then they knock it down. As soon as we get back, they knock it down to 3 times a week. But 3 times a week, my dad goes, nurse will be, this is Sunday afternoon. Nurse will be here tomorrow morning, Monday at 9 o'clock. All right. So I do a show on Monday morning. I do a horse show, Equine Dynamics. If you want to learn anything about horses, I've got a professional, it's a little bit more serious show. It's an educational show. I got a very professional gentleman, a horseman. It's been all over the world and stuff. It's a great show. It's a less than an hour show if you want to know anything about horses. So I do that show, and I come downstairs from the studio, and he goes, I go, where's the nurse? He was like, I don't know. She didn't show up. So this happens on and off for the next however long we've been back from the cruise. I said, well, all right, do you tell anyone? Do you say anything? I said, call them up. Call them up. Make sure that they're, no, I'm not going to bother them. So they come out the next day. And then where I'm getting at is one time, my wife's gone to work. It's like Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, one of those days. And I'm sitting in the kitchen, I'm having coffee, and my dad goes, the nurse will be here at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, all right. So we're sitting there drinking coffee, and I go, how do you know when she's here, Dad? Well, I watch the cameras. I said, okay, because we've got cameras all over the property, and you can watch them on your phone and stuff. I said, are you going to, let her in? No, I just unlocked the back door, and she can come in the back door. And I go, what? Oh, she's been here before. Okay. So she's been here before. These people aren't showing up on a regular basis. So you're telling me you've got these people walking in and out of our house at any random given time? And no, I know when they're coming. Well, you didn't know they were not coming yesterday, and now they're coming today? Well, yeah. And I said to my dad, this is not your home. I hate to say that. And what I mean by that is at his house, down in Florida, the one that we sell and stuff, he doesn't have the stuff that we keep secure in our house that he did down in Florida. What I mean by that is, I told you my wife works now 2 days a week out of the house. She's got a whole computer system set up with the security and internet and all that stuff and valuable information and valuable documents and stuff that she physically has on her desk in her office. To get into the house, you technically have to walk. Now, it's not like right there by the front door. It's in that room, but anyone can walk over there and grab a social security number, can grab any. No. Dad, no. And second of all, we have guns in the house. Now, granted, the maze to get to our bedroom, to get to where the guns are and the gun safe and stuff, you can get lost in our house. I know, baller here, 4,500 square foot house. There's a reason why my dad's on the other side of the room and we got lights triggering on and off because he forgets to turn them on or turn them off. We have guns in the house. We don't know these people. They could be the nicest nurses in the world. Nurse Ratched was the nicest nurse on cinema screen, but she did bad things. You've seen stories about what they call them, angels of mercy, where they're killing people, to put them out of their miseries. And there's other people that have stolen. There's stories about nurses going into places and stealing stuff. Dad, we have valuable information and guns. Huh? Oh, they wouldn't do that. No, Dad, no. No, they would not do that while I'm here. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, we've been gone for almost 2 weeks. How many times have these people walked into the house unaccompanied and walked around our house trying to find out, where the kitchen is or where you have to go through a living room and a TV room. And then, you can go one way and end up on this side of the property or one way or end up on that. He even said to me, the one girl, I'm going to call her Ashley because that's her name, that she got lost walking into the house. And I go, Dad, where was she at? Well, she found her way to the kitchen, and I'm thinking, thank God I locked, while we were gone, I did lock our bedroom up. Our whole entire bedroom was locked because that's where all the guns are. I didn't trust them. But there's other stuff in the house that, there's valuable stuff and statues and all that stuff that are worth, megatons of money. Baller. Dad, you cannot have these people just walk into the house. And his mindset is, well, I can't walk. I physically cannot walk out there, greet them at the door, and then walk them into the house. Then, Dad, they need to come in another door. They need to come in the front door, which is literally like front door, living room, kitchen. Everyone's mapping my house out now. And by the way, Dad, you left the water on again. So when I'm there and the nurses, I'm sitting in the kitchen, just kind of, drinking my coffee, wiping up and just wiping down stuff. And when they're done, I said, I'll walk you out. Oh, thank you very much. I said, it's the gentleman thing to do. I said, a woman should never walk in this. I told every single one of them. And hopefully my dad was like, bent his ear a little bit on it. I said, a woman should never walk unaccompanied into a married man's house and never walk out unaccompanied from a married man's house. So forgive me if I'm being polite and a gentleman. I'm trying to, show that, it's like when the poker dealer leaves the table, hands clean, everything's good. Nothing happened. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I'm not hiding anything. I'm trying to be a gentleman and walk these women in and out of a house where they are not, they're not part of the family and they're not married. They're not married to me. And that's the right thing to do. You don't just let them, all right, there's a door, see you later, that type of stuff. No. That's when things happen. So we had an incident the other day. Monday morning again, nurse was supposed to be there at 9:00. Again, nothing. I'm sitting there at 9:00. I'm finishing my last cup of coffee. I'm like, Dad, where is this nurse at? And he says, well, she said she was going to be here at 9. She'll be here. No concern whatsoever. 9:27. She texts my dad and says, I have a flat tire. I will be there later this afternoon. I said, bullshit. I'm not waiting till this because I want to be there with the lady in the house and, it's my house and, everything I just told you. I said, bullshit. I said, Dad, tell her, don't even bother. I said, I'll change the bandage like I always have. And I said, what you need to do. I said, do they bill you for these on your Medicare? He goes, I get a statement with every time they've been here. I said, you need to make a graph of who and the time and if they show up or if they don't show up. And make sure that graph, your calendar, whatever, matches your billing statement. Because you hear, and I hate to be conspiracy theory, but you hear about these stories all the time of nurse-assisted programs double billing and getting more money so they can survive and stuff. Every other fucking week, I got a goddamn, what is it, Meta line or something? And I got gauze and tape and stuff every day. Every other day, I'm like, Dad, how much of this gauze and tape do you need? If they're only coming now once a week, why do I need all this gauze and tape? They just order it. Yeah, because they take the gauze and tape that costs $2.50 and they're billing $25. They're charging you $2,100 to pull out your goddamn water pump, even though you helped them. I know I'm backtracking there if you're paying attention. I said, you need to make sure they are not double billing or overbilling your Medicare, because that's going. You know what's going to do, Dad? It's going to affect your rates. It's going to affect all that stuff. And then at the end of the day, you're going to be screwed. And at the end of the year, you're going to owe money somehow. I don't know how that works, but I'm just saying you're going to owe money somehow. So, Dad, turn the water off. Turn the lights off. Pay attention to who's going to be here. And then don't let them walk in the house unescorted. Now, since we've been back, I've walked every single one of them in the house, and yada yada yada. So that's where I'm at. So how was your week? I know. It's just one of those things. I mean, I hate to say it, but I can't trust anyone. And then on a side note, the girl who had the flat tire, my wife was home the next day, and she showed up. Well, I didn't show up yesterday. I figured I'd show up today. And I walk out there and I look to see if she's got, a new tire or something. I look. My wife's like, my babe. My wife goes, what's she got on it? I go, fucking donut. She's got a donut on it, so tire's legit. And I guess these nurses have company cars or something. They have like all white Impalas. I don't know what it is, but anyways. All right, guys, I'm going to let you get back to enjoying what you got to do. And hopefully you have a great weekend. It's going to be hot out there. It's going to be really, really hot. So I hope you guys take care of yourself. All right, that'll do it. Okay, see you, bye. Bye.